Hello, Sarah here. Time for another Bibliosnack book talk. The book I want to talk about today, I'm really excited to talk about because I read it a while ago actually, and I've been wanting to do a blog about it, but I lent it to someone, and this is the kind of book that you actually want to see. So I have it back now, and I'm going to talk about it. And it is called Why We Broke Up. And it is a collaborative work between two writers, Daniel Handler, who's the writer, and then Myra Kallman is the illustrator. And you might know Daniel Handler better as a different author. His name is sometimes Lemony Snicket. And Myra Kallman is actually a well-known illustrator of picture books, and she does covers for The New Yorker. And the two have actually worked together before. They worked on a picture book called 13 Words together. So this book is actually written for teenagers though, and it's about a teenaged girl named Min, which is short for Minerva. And Min is kind of quirky. She likes weird old movies that no one has really ever seen before. She's friends with kind of the odd kids in school. She's kind of in with the drama geeks. And that is why it's really odd. All of her friends think it's really weird when she starts dating this guy named Ed. And Ed is a star basketball player. He's had tons of girlfriends before in the past, and it seems like a romance between Ed and Min should be the last thing in the world that would ever work. And of course, it doesn't work. And you know that because the title of the book is Why We Broke Up. And in the very first chapter, you find out that Min has created a box of all of the stuff, the objects she's accumulated during her and Ed's relationship. And she is bringing this box to his front door and giving all of these things back to him. And the book is written in the form of a letter from Min to Ed. In the first paragraph, Min explains why she's returning all the stuff. And then each chapter of the book begins with an illustration by Myra Kallman of one of the objects that she's returning to Ed. And the chapter that follows focuses on that object and the part it played in their relationship with each other and why it has to do with the reason that their relationship didn't work out. I loved this book. It is beautifully, quirkily written. If you like Lemony Snicket books, you kind of have a vague idea of what the writing style is like. The narrator is definitely present, and the sentence structure is a little bit odd and quirky and beautiful. It definitely feels a little bit more grown up than the Lemony Snicket books. I also really loved the characters. They are incredibly believable. They are likable, and I think a lot of readers who would like this book would really connect with Min. Um, Teenagers who kind of feel like maybe they're not on in the cool group, maybe, but aren't necessarily like total outcasts either. Um, and if you're not a teenager, you'll probably appreciate this book because it'll help you relive maybe your first love and that feeling of what it's like to just be totally in love with someone in high school, no matter what anybody else thinks. I also really love Myra Kallman's illustrations in this book. They are realistic because they're paintings of objects, but they also have this kind of sense of whimsy and color and brightness that just makes this a beautiful book to own. Um, I'll show you one of the illustrations. This is an illustration of a poster that plays an important part in their relationship. And another thing that I really love about this book, which this illustration kind of has to do with, is that Min talks about all these old movies that she really loves. And I actually had the opportunity to see Myra Kallman and Daniel Handler speak about this book. And Daniel's talked about how all of the old movies that he talks about in this book are actually completely made up. And the reason he did that is because he wanted every reader to come to the book with the same experience of these movies. So if he had used a real old movie that actually existed, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, people would already have preconceived notions about what that movie means to them, and he really wanted the movies to mean something to Min and for you to understand what they mean to her. So they're all made up movies and they all sound awesome. I wish they all existed. But this book is just beautiful because of the words, it's beautiful because of the pictures. It's just a perfect package of a book, I think. And if you like books about first love, if you like romantic stories with a little bit bittersweetness and beautiful writing, if you're maybe a quirky kid who feels like you don't completely fit in, if you like John Green, I would recommend this book. I would recommend you read Why We Broke Up by Daniel Handler and Myra Coleman.